Hi, ladybugs. How are we doing today? Here's Chuggy. Here's Chuggy, huh? Here's Chuggy. Yes, there's Chuggy. Look at that sweet Chuggy girl. Look at that sweet Chuggy girl. Look at that sweet Chuggy girl. And Tiny found a piece of paper that she's all excited about, huh? Evie, leave her alone. You guys stop picking on Tiny. Good girl. All right, go do something, guys. Go on, go do something. So I had a rough day yesterday because I had an appointment. All right, let me go back a year. So a year ago, I was taking a lot of pain medication, including fentanyl and Percocet and Vicodin, and I decided that I didn't want to be on all those medications. So I messaged my doctor and said, can I switch out from the fentanyl to buprenorphine, which is basically, so it's Suboxone, which is basically a medication that was originally used for addicts to get off of opioid addiction, like fentanyl. But it also has pain relieving qualities. And I had been having an issue with tolerance when you're on a medication so long that it no longer works for pain. It basically, you build up a tolerance to it. So I had read that the buprenorphine does not have tolerance issues. Like over time, you don't get accustomed to it. It helps with pain. So I messaged my doctor. This was last year in August, the end of August. And I said, I would like to possibly switch to this medication because I'm having tolerance issues. And he said, that would be fine. That would be great. You know, most doctors want you to get off fentanyl. So I went to the doctor and we switched my medication. I went off the fentanyl and went on to the Suboxone. And I also got rid of Percocet, Vicodin, all those medications. So I was only taking 2 medications, went from like 5 to 2. So I went from all those other medications and I only had fentanyl, and then I had 20 Dilaudid a month to use for breakthrough pain, like if I got injured or something like that. And I was doing really well. The last year, I've been doing great. I've been doing well. I haven't needed the Dilaudid every day, just once in a while. And the Suboxone was handling my pain. So I was doing well. Well, in March, I was very sick. I had like pneumonia. And I went to see a doctor who was not my doctor because I couldn't get an appointment with my doctor. And she was much closer to my house than my doctor was. And I was very hesitant to switch doctors because pain medication is one of those things that's very difficult to get ordered. And I had a good relationship with my doctor. But I talked to the doctor that I saw. She seemed like a very nice lady. And I asked her, if I switch to you, can we just leave my meds alone? Because I'm doing really well. And she said, yeah, that's fine. So I switched doctors. And everything was fine for a few months. And then a couple weeks ago, I had my doctor called me. Well, her nurse called me and said, your doctor wants to schedule an appointment. And I was like, okay. So I had a telephone appointment, and she basically said she wasn't comfortable ordering the Dilaudid. I don't know why. First she said it was because there was a period last year between November and December where I didn't order it one month because I was taking it as needed and I didn't happen to need it that month as much. So, and we had been told to use it as little as possible. So there was a period of like 2 months where I didn't order any in the last year. But, you know, all the rest of the months I ordered it, and I had been taking every few months I have to go in for urine tests to make sure I'm not taking anything I'm not supposed to be taking, which I'm not. And so she said she was uncomfortable ordering it and didn't want me on it, and that she was going to taper it down. You know, like I got 20 this past month, and then I was going to get 15 and then 10 and so forth and so on. So I figured that was okay because that gave me some time to find another doctor who was comfortable ordering it. Another thing you should know is that if I get injured and I go to urgent care or I go to the ER, I'm very careful not to get any pain medication from them. I know that there are rules that I can only get pain medicine from my primary doctor, so I'm very careful about those rules. I don't break them. I know that pain medicine is very important to my life because of my disease, and so I'm very careful to follow all of the rules. Anyway, so she said she was going to taper it down. I figured, that's not really what I want, but it'll give me some time to find another doctor that is comfortable ordering it. So I went ahead and I didn't get a new doctor right away because I figured I had time. And so this month we went to order the Dilaudid, and it was denied. So we ordered it again, thinking it was a mistake, and it was denied again. So I messaged the doctor and I said, "Hey, we had agreed on tapering down the medication. Can you please go ahead and approve this month's medication?" And I got a message back, not from her, but from her nurse, that basically said she had written in the notes that there was no indication I was using it for pain relief, and that she was discontinuing it. So there was no tapering, there was nothing. And I feel really upset about it because I feel lied to in the appointment. And there was a witness. My caregiver was there as a witness. Um, and the call was on speakerphone. She said, we're going to taper it down. We'll do 20 this month and 15 next month. And then we'll do a couple months of 15 and then 10. So I was really upset that she lied to me, that she, wasn't planning on tapering it, that she was just cutting it off. And, I know that, a lot of people don't agree with pain medication, but with my Ehlers-Danlos, need to have it. And I've been doing really well with the pain medicine I was on. I was really happy to get off some of the stronger stuff and find something a little less strong that actually worked. So I was really upset that not only that she lied to me, but then that she falsified my medical chart as to what was said, because that's not what was said. So I just found out about this yesterday and it made me very upset. But I'm going to file a formal complaint about her dishonesty. And I did switch doctors immediately yesterday. I'm hoping this new doctor will understand the situation that I'm in. One of the things that I'm going to show him is the email that I sent to my doctor last year saying that I wanted to get off of the fentanyl, because when I had the appointment with this doctor that I had, she basically said, that's a lie. Nobody asks to get off fentanyl, which is just not true. I asked to get off fentanyl. This wasn't, so they're thinking that this was my doctor's decision and I'm addicted and I'm, all that, which is just not true. I asked to get off it because the way that I was taking it was the patch, the 3-day patch. You put a patch on, change it every 3 days. But the way that it ends up waning in your system is that after 2 days, you start going through withdrawals. And I didn't like that, which is the main reason I wanted to get off it. But it was my decision to get off it. It was not my doctor's. There was no issues with addiction or with misuse of my medication. Like I said, because of the stringent rules surrounding pain medication, I am extremely careful not to break any of the rules or in any way violate my pain medicine contract. I'm just really upset that she lied to me and that she took the route that she did, because there was no reason for that, It is what it is, I can't do anything about it now. I have an appointment for my hip with this new doctor, and I'm hoping he'll understand and give me back my PRN. I don't need it all the time, but I do need it a good portion of the time, especially if I have a fall or something like that. it's good to have on hand. So, and mainly I'm upset about the dishonesty. Doctors should not do that. They shouldn't falsify medical records. Um, it's just not right. So that's had me upset the last 24 hours since I found out about that. And if I'm not using it for pain, then what am I using it for? Hello? Anyway, it's just a difficult situation. And I don't like it. There we go. I like the way that looks. My camera looks a little foggy. I don't know why. Looks like there's a haze around me, but there's not. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. You know, once you have medication stopped, it's a lot harder to get it started again. I don't know. It's just a difficult situation to be in. And especially because I was doing so well. You know, I really have been doing great. The medication that I'm on was working well for me. And it's hard to just suddenly not have it, you know? For those of you that have pain conditions, you'll understand what I'm saying. It's gotten to the point where so many doctors don't want to hand out any pain medication at all. And there are a lot of people that abuse it, but there are also people who are responsible who don't abuse it, who need it for legitimate conditions. And I don't think that doctors should be punishing everybody for the actions of a few, because I know that I have never misused my medication. I'm extremely careful about when I use my medication and how I use it. I always, you know, every pill check, every pill count, every urine test. I do everything I'm supposed to do. I never get pain medication from any doctor but my primary care doctor. And it's just really upsetting. So, like I said, I don't think that doctors should punish everybody for the actions of a few, you know? I've never been addicted to my medication. I've been physically dependent on my medication, which is something you really can't avoid, but I've never been addicted to it. I've never misused it. I've never overtaken it. You know, I've always been extremely careful with my medication because I know that my ability to live a comfortable life is dependent on it. So I just love this baby. She is so pretty. I wish I had a set of legs for her that were bent legs that I could change out, because I would love to be able to snuggle her a little better, but the ones with the straight legs are difficult to cuddle with, you know? They just don't, it's harder to really get them up against you and all that. So I wish I had a pair of bent legs that I could change out every once in a while, huh? Huh, Kenya? She is so pretty. She's one of my prettiest babies. Look how pretty she looks in the back. Let's see, let's separate this. So that's what's been going on. There's nothing I can do about it. All I can do is hope that my new doctor will understand. I wanted to get back with my old doctor, but for some reason that's proving harder than it should be. Because he had said when I changed doctors that if I didn't like the doctor, I could come back to him, but I'm having difficulty getting that to happen. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's just been a hard 24 hours, but it'll be okay. Like I said, hopefully my new doctor will be understanding and will take into consideration, you know, the pain and everything. This is so cute. Look at this. Isn't that cute? It almost looks like Holly Hobby type. I know it's not Holly Hobby, but it kind of looks like that. That kind of art. It says Morgan Inc. on the dress. That must be because it's on the front of the dress near the image, it must be the artist who did the image. Let's see. Let's put this on somebody. We haven't used this for a while. Let's put this on Miss Tegan. Missy. So how are all you guys doing? Hopefully you're doing better than I am. Hopefully everything is good with you guys. I did a video. I don't know if I put it on YouTube. I might have, I might not have, but I did a video saying that there's been a lot more disconnect in the community, you know, a lot less commenting on people's posts, a lot more just not interacting as much, you know what I mean? And I wonder why that is. I wonder why there seems to be this disconnect in the community. Do you guys notice that there seems to be a lot more like hearting the posts than commenting on them? And I think part of that is because there's so many scammers in the community. But I think another part of it is people are just getting kind of lazy in that regard. You know what I mean? Like it's so much easier to hit the like button than it is to write a comment. I always try to write comments if on people's posts that I'm friends with so that they know that someone is looking. But I know a lot of people don't. And I wish there was less disconnect in the community, you know? Oh, look how pretty. Look how pretty Tegan looks. I don't have any bloomers for this dress because it's a vintage and it didn't come with them. But it's okay. She doesn't need bloomers, huh? Say my diaper can be a set of bloomers, huh? So I go on the 14th to see my new doctor. Hopefully we'll see how he goes. And yeah. I'm going to show him the email between me and my previous doctor where I asked him to get off the medication because obviously doctors don't believe that anybody would want to get off fentanyl. But you know, I guess my standing on it was that it got to the point where it wasn't working. So why take it and, you know, have the side effects if it's not going to work? And that's why I wanted to get off it and get on something that doesn't develop tolerance. But I've also realized over the last several months that being on buprenorphine, which is traditionally used to stop addiction, can be viewed as a problem because it makes people think that I had an addiction, even though I didn't. So that may not have been the wisest choice to get on that medication. It makes people think I have an addiction, which I don't. I've never been addicted to drugs. I've never used drugs. I've never misused my medication. None of that. So I just think maybe it was the wrong medication to get on. It does help with my pain at a much lower dose, which I like, and I don't have all the side effects that I had when I was on the fentanyl. But like I said, I think that other doctors may see it as, well, she had an addiction, which is just not true. Let me see if I can find her a bow or two. I think it's a tough situation when you have a lot of pain because so many doctors are against giving out pain medication. It can be a real challenge for anyone who deals with a painful condition. Again, I don't think it's right for doctors to punish everybody because some people got addicted to their medication. You know, there are quite a few people on pain medication who don't abuse it, don't, you know, sell it, don't do anything they're not supposed to do. And not everybody should be punished because some people made bad choices. pain medication is a necessity of some people's lives. There we go. I guess the black really doesn't match what she's wearing, but it just looks so cute with the little bows. I'll find something else that's not black because there's no black in her outfit, so we will find something else, huh? There's some red, but these are like big red bows. I don't know that I don't really like the big red bows on short hair. I feel like it's too much, but let's see what we can do with it. I have a set of smaller red bows somewhere, but I just don't know where they are at the moment. I don't know where they are. Let's see. Here's a smaller red bow. Now, if I could find a second smaller red bow, that would be perfect. But I don't know if I have one up here. Let's see. What are you doing, crazy girl? No, don't eat the bow. Don't eat the bow. Here's another smaller bow, but it's not the same bow as the one I found. I really need to get my bows hung up and displayed again so I can find them. Oh, here's two smaller red bows. Okay. Let me put these two back together. I don't know what they're complaining about. Hey, relax. All right, we got two smaller red bows. Now let's get two elastics. Stop it, Evie. Everly, leave Tiny alone. Tiny, stop. They're like siblings. They bicker. No, go away. Good girl. There we go. Now let's try to put this front of her hair up. I like her hair and Heidi's hair and Morgan's hair because it's so fine and there's so little of it that it actually looks like the hair you'd find on a 1.5-year-old, as opposed to like Kenya, who has this luscious long and her, don't get me wrong, Kenya's hair is gorgeous. I just don't think in reality a child that young would have hair that long, but it's possible, I suppose. None of my babies did. I had bald babies. Beautiful babies, but bald nonetheless. Did you guys have babies, like real babies with long hair? Or did your babies, like, you know, by the time they were like 18 months or whatever, did they have long flowy hair? Or did they have like short, like this? Short, fine, thin hair, you know? There we go. Look how cute little Tegan looks. Tegan, you're so pretty. Oh, she's so cute. My ankle is itching. I got bit by a bug. Got bit by a bug, huh, Tegan? Mommy got bit by a bug. Got some socks for her. I brought a bunch of shoes upstairs, so I'm going to find some shoes for her. So I hope everybody's having a good day. It's kind of overcast and a little bit chilly. It's not super cold or anything, but it is not a warm day today. It's warm enough for shorts, but just barely. You know what I mean? Let's see. I need a pair of shoes for you, Missy. Tiny, stop. Tiny and Kobe, stop. Lay down. I don't know why Tiny likes to annoy them, but she does. Stop it, Tiny. No. I don't know why she likes to do that, but she does. She's a weirdo. These would be cute with that outfit. Let's see. Do you guys like putting shoes on your babies, or do you just like them in socks? I like them in shoes, but sometimes it's a pain to find the shoes. You know, I have so many shoes, and I keep them all kind of just in the same spot, but it's sometimes hard to dig through and find matches. You know what I mean? My addiction is baby shoes, so I have too many shoes, and it makes it difficult to find the matches that I'm looking for. Let's put these on her. Although a pair of red shoes would be really cute with this, but that's okay. White shoes will work too. All right, there we go. There she is with her little shoes on. So cute, Tegan. Let me see if I have any red shoes up here. I might. Do you guys find that the community is quieter? I'm thinking about starting another group, just and hand picking the people that are in the group so that we can get more interaction without the drama or scammers. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about doing that. What do you guys think about that? Is that a group you'd like to join? I, of course, would announce it in here so you guys could find it. Here's a pair of red sneakers. This is one of, I brought up 2 bins of shoes. These are so cute. Look at those. Off-white. Kenya has big feet. Those standing babies generally do have larger feet. Here's a pair of shoes I've had forever. I love these little shoes. And we have these and these, which I already showed you the red ones. And then we have these. Love these little boots. I think they're so cute. I have these little baby walkers with flowers on them. I have these. I have these little sneakers. Little red sandals. And then here's Lucky Brand. Little blue shoe. I have sneakers. Another pair of sneakers with glitter on them. I have so many shoes. It's crazy. I have a little pair of pink sneakers. Hold on, I'm trying to get this. There we go. Here's a little pair of pink sneakers and a pair of white sneakers. Love these little ruffles on them. Sneakers with ruffles. I have a pair of Pooh Bear sneakers. I have these, which have ruffles and their little eyelet sneakers. These are cute. I have 2 of those. I have these little booties. I have these. I have so many different shoes. I just love baby shoes. It's my biggest addiction, even more than the clothes. If I ever get out of Reborns and decide to sell like my baby stuff, I probably will have like 100 grand if I sold all my Reborns and all my baby stuff. These would be cute on Susu with her pink dress. I have these. Here's a pair of red shoes. These would be cute with what Tegan is wearing, if I can find the other one. There it is. All right, let's see if these will fit Tegan. I have these little Mickey Mouse shoes. I have these in a couple of sizes because I just love them. I got them before Babies R Us closed up. That's how old they are. Babies R Us was a great store. I was really bummed that it closed down. All right, let's put all these away, and then we'll try those red shoes on Tegan, on Miss Tegan. I'll do 1 red shoe and 1 white shoe, and you guys can tell me which one you like. I'll wait to decide until I read the comments. So you guys can tell me if you like the red shoe with it or the white shoe. All right, there's that one. Let me find, where's the little red shoes I just had? Here they are. Yep, they fit. Good, 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 good. But now will they fit around her ankle? Some of the times I find that the shoe fits on the foot, but then it's harder to get around the ankle. But this one seems to fit well, so I like it. And then we'll put the little bow right in the center. All right, here we go. Here she is with the red shoe and the white shoe. What do you guys think? You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments so we can decide whether we're going to put red shoes or white shoes on her, okay? Love you guys. Hope you have a great afternoon. Bye.